Hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome. It is Wellness Wednesday, and I am very excited to have Debbie Freebird Spirit as my guest today. Um, Hi, everyone that's here. Hi, Dinah and Ron and Susan and
Oh my
Sherry
goodness. Hi,
and Sharon.
Susan. Yeah. Wow. Hi.
Yes, welcome, everyone.
Yay.
Oops. Hold on. I got like a double thing going on here. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, so yeah, and for all those that are new subscribers, welcome. So happy to have you here. Wellness Wednesday. This is the day that if I don't have a guest on, I'm just sharing different tips and things that you can utilize in your life to that promotes health and wellness, dealing with mind, body, and spirit. And every once in a while, I like to have a guest on. So today it's Debbie.
Thank you.
Hey, Jima, welcome.
Hi, Jima. Hi, Dinah.
Good to see you.
And Ron and Susan. And am I missing anybody?
The
Oh,
Hoking.
thank you, Melon. Oh, the heck. Wow.
Hello, welcome.
Truly.
So, for those that do not know who this lovely woman is, Debbie is a psychic medium. She is, I'll just say, reader of the cards. She's also a Reiki Master. She has her master's in psychology. And what am I missing, Debbie?
Oh, transpersonal hypnotherapist.
There you go. So she's the queen of all trades.
Therapist. Yeah. All those, anything to do with healing. Most of us empaths, we always find ourselves trying to find ourselves in some type of healing, you'll find. Yeah.
Yes. It's fantastic. And I learned of Debbie last year. A friend told me about her site when she started with Karen when they were doing their readings. And I got my first reading, I think, for you was back in July of last year.
Wow.
So it's almost been a year. And like, if you haven't had a reading done by Debbie, I highly encourage that you do. It's just fantastic. Hey, Esmeralda, welcome. So happy to see you here. So, Debbie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everyone just a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I am Debbie, and I feel like most of you know me, but I do see some new people here, so that's cool. But okay, so my background is, like you said, I've been in psychology for, over 30 years. And just in the last 4 years have gone full-time, more metaphysical and directly, energy healing, metaphysicals, psychic medium stuff. However, I have integrated that throughout my whole life. In whatever my life looked like, integrated that psychic medium part of me, the metaphysical. It has always been a part of what I've done. My last bit in my traditional job, I worked in a hospital in the ER mainly, but I also worked the entire hospital. Any of the codes and whatnot, I would be called to. I would show up to all those things. So. And what I mean by that, if someone was coding, I would be there to be with the family. And if there was no family, I would be there at the bedside as a patient may be transitioning over and whatnot. So I got to be with a lot of, it's such an honor to be with those who are transitioning passing on. So, and also in the ER, everything that you can imagine that happens in the ER, yeah. they always have the psychiatric liaison there. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is. If they don't want to deal with it, call Debbie. Let's get her there. And my little 5'3" person would go in there to deal with 6'7" psychiatric patient or whatever.
Wow.
But also, it wasn't only the psychiatric patients I worked with, of course. I worked with everything from assault victims to child abuse to abandoned children, to everything that you can imagine that happens in an ER.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's what I did. And my skills, my abilities with my psychic stuff came in very handy.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of times I'd be sitting with patients and their loved ones from the other side would be there. And although it wasn't the arena to say, "Oh, your mom is here from the," I could bring in messages secretly. I had to be creative, but I could bring in the messages from their loved ones without them knowing that I was really doing it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. We just had a few other people join us. Hi, Jay. Hi, Jay. And we have Wayne.
Oh, hi, Wayne.
Welcome. I want to encourage everyone to. This is a whole open Q&A thing. So if you have questions for us, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We want to kind of keep this going and flowing. So any questions that you have, that would be fantastic. How long did you work in the ER, Debbie?
So I was in the ER hospital situation probably about 12 years. Before that, I've private practice, anything in psychology you can imagine. We have our hands in everything. But so private practice, group therapies. I worked in education for a long time. I was a professor in psychology, and also I worked in a college as an assistant dean of students. And a counselor, and all levels in the college. So I've had a blessed experience being able to work in this field and integrate also intuition and metaphysical stuff and all the things that I did. I always say I don't know how anybody can work in this field without having these abilities to draw from, So so over 30 years in this field, but the last 12 or so in the hospital, and then Spirit gave me a tower moment, and I had to clearly go full time into this.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting that you said that, because I was going to ask what made you decide to transition into this whole arena and decide to do it full time, and how was that for you? I mean, we don't necessarily share exactly what happened, but what was?
Oh, I can share what it was. Yeah, it was pretty interesting because it's I can look back on it and go, oh my gosh, ha ha ha. I'm 4 or 5 years out. So yeah, I loved what I did. I loved working in the hospital. But if you can imagine being an empath and working in that situation, and it was impactful. And no matter how much, I know how to protect myself, I know how to do all that, before walking into this type of situation, this type of work situation, no matter what, it still seeps in, and my body was taking it on. And it's a very, I can't explain being how extremely stressful it is working in the ER.
It's a lot of heavy energy.
It's a lot of heavy energy, and it's constant, and it's long hours, and all that. Anyway, all that to say is I had a couple strokes.
Wow.
They were mini strokes, TIAs, but the second one, in fact, when I'm tired, you guys all notice when I'm like, there's a word there, I can't pull it forward and like that. And sometimes I get jumbled with words. they're in here. It's just getting them here that's a little more difficult when I'm tired, especially. And so it took a minute to get back, right, from that second one. And I was going to be returning to work, you guys. Can you imagine? But I left my job, and I had bills and, like that. And so, and I wasn't ready to stop. And so the weekend before I was going to go back, I was golfing and I broke my leg golfing.
Oof.
Who does that?
Me. That's something I would do.
Well, all right, Sonia, you and me. So I took that as a clear sign, and I sat down with some people that are very important in my life and just said, here's the deal. I truly feel like I'm not supposed to go back for some reason. And that's when I made the big change.
Yeah.
And Kathleen, I'm telling you. So so I made the big change, and I can't tell you how beautiful it is on this side.
Yeah.
And I obviously miss my crew because ER people who work in the ER, they're special people, and I miss my crew. But I absolutely no regrets. I am absolutely on my true north path here. Thank you to Spirit who gave me a tower.
Hey, so I just want to reiterate, if anyone has questions for Debbie, and the questions around tonight, we're discussing Debbie sharing with her experience. And so any specific questions for Debbie herself, and in a little bit, we're going to get into how you can develop your psychic abilities.
Yeah, I did see someone post a question on that, on how to tap into some of that. So we will be tapping into some of those questions.
Yes,
sure.
we will. Okay, I got that, just to make sure we have that.
So, yeah.
How old were you? Oh, this is a great question. Thank you for that, Tasty Melon. So how old were you when you noticed your psychic skills?
So I didn't have words for what was my experiences. I didn't have words for it, but I can tell you that from the moments I can remember, first memories, 3, 4, that young, that I was having experiences of knowing things were going to happen. I knew when people were going to die. I knew when the phone was going to ring, those types of things. But I didn't have words to say what it was. And no one was telling me. It was just like, oh, that's just Debbie. No one brought attention to it. But they also didn't take away from it. Mm-hmm. However, that being said, I was terror. I was scared. And I was anxious, and because I was experiencing all these spirits. And if I had help and someone who recognized what was going on, and of course, but this was way back I'm not even going to tell you how long ago it was. But it was way back then, and no one, most likely people would think this was of the devil. So, but I felt like the devil was after me all the time. But I didn't have words for it. However, to attach addendum to that, I always knew that I had this spiritual light of protection over, and I could call to the protection. And ironically, I knew it was Jesus, even though no one was telling me about Jesus. Mm-hmm. I knew that it was Jesus. And I had this relationship before I even had words to what was going on or anything like that with this light, and it was Jesus. And so I would call upon that protection all the time. And I felt like I always pursued deeper relationship, mm-hmm. deeper relationship with spirit, deeper relationship and communication with. And I feel like that was a big part of my development. And I did that on my own because I didn't have words.
Yeah.
Very young, had these experiences of seeing seeing things, experiencing things. You watch these shows and they're like, I felt someone tapping me. I felt someone saying my name. I felt all these things. I'm like, yep. But I didn't really know later on in my life that continued to happen. I mean, it's not in this house, but before I moved, it was still happening all the time like that until I realized, I can set up some boundaries with that. Mm-hmm. And so I have boundaries set up, and my gatekeeper knows to keep all that out. So that's helpful. But yeah, all that stuff, hearing your name, doing all that. Yeah. That's me.
I have another question here from Esmeralda. So as you were young and all this was happening, when did you learn how to tap more into your intuition and get a better kind of control of it?
Control of it, right? Okay, so again, when I was younger, I didn't have words for what was going on. I then stepped into what because again, I wanted more. I wanted to hear more clearly, to be able to help, or however that was working in my life. So the only way I knew to do that was, so I became a Christian, and I dove in deep. And I dove in more towards those types of experiences, church experiences that spoke in tongues and gave words of knowledge. So they just had a different language for it. So hearing words of knowledge, getting words of prophecy for people, and healing hands and that kind of thing. So that's where I started early on. And so that would have been, oh gosh, starting around 18 or 19, around 19 when that started. And so, so I got, and I just had this hunger to hear more clearly, right? And dove in that area. And then it was later that, and it was just experience, Esmeralda. It was just experience and practice and continuing to do that and sit in that spirit that built the intuition, built that in me, because I was always expecting to hear, always. In fact, way back in the 90s, when I would teach these things. So I would have circles, or however you would call it. I would have groups come over and help them recognize that they were hearing or feeling, or like that, and diving and tapping deeper into their intuition. Of course, we had different words back then for it, but it was the same thing. So diving deeper into that and helping them understand that everybody gets information differently, because we are built different. And it's meant to be that way, but to let them know that they were hearing and feeling and seeing and able to give messages to people. And back then they had a commercial on the TV, and it was talking about back in the 1900s. Yes, can you imagine, Dana? Can you imagine? And so there was a commercial, and I feel it was Verizon, and that guy with these glasses. And he'd walk here and can you hear me now? And then he'd go over here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
And so that was one of the things that I would teach, that we would play with, and go home and practice. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And so that's kind of how we did it back then. And that's just a little bit of a fun story for me to share. But as time has progressed, and I have progressed in my awakening, and just tapping more deeply into my intuition. It's just doing it. Literally, you guys, it's really just practicing it. Mm-hmm. It's like learning a new language, right? And so literally, if you're not working it in the daytime, it's going to be coming at you at night, right? Yeah. And so, and you're going to be dreaming, it's coming in your dreams. So I used to do dream journals. If I wasn't practicing during the day, if I wasn't writing in journals and being intentional about things, it would come in my dreams. But to be more specific, there, there's many things that you can do. But mostly, if I can give you one hint, the basis of everything, of raising your vibration to open that intuition deeper, is love. Imagine the opposite of high is low, right? Low vibration. And so you have, and that is negativity, right? What's the opposite of love? Negativity. So high vibration is joy, gratitude, love, and love encompasses all of that. So if you can literally imagine yourself stepping into a love bubble or whatever you want to do to get yourself into the alignment with love, that's going to raise your vibration, and that's going to automatically open up all the energy centers and bring you deeper into your intuition, or opening that up for you.
Yeah.
It's love, guys. You heard it here.
I actually have a past video that I did on how to raise your vibration. So if anyone has any question about that and different techniques and things that you can, that you would like to learn how to do that, there is a video on that. And also another great thing to do every morning that I do is just doing an affirmation that feels really good to me. As soon as I get out of bed, I have it right next to my bed. You would think I would know it by memory, but I'm groggy when I wake up in the morning. What can I say? So I have that, and that's how I start my morning. I start with my affirmation, and from there I go into my meditation just to help me get grounded and centered. And that just helps create that love bubble, as you say.
Right, the love bubble. Just stepping in. Literally, it's intention, guys. So, and as in this human experience, we're offered this ability to feel things, embrace. We can feel and ebb and flow, and so ceremony is important to us. It helps us in this solid form get into things, right? So ceremony is important. So so step into that intuition, however that is. And so Sonia's sharing some of hers. Take some deep breaths, step into that gratitude, and then place your intention. You can even ask specific things to your guides. I would like a guide that will help me grow my intuition. Open that up. Ask for a specific guide to come in. They might not be there forever, but they certainly will come in and help you with that, because that is something you desire to do. So be specific. Place your intentions out there. And we know that that's a thing, all the vision boards and stuff like that. So if that's one of your things, put it on your vision board and ask for a specific guide.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Hi, Lucianne and Palma Lee and Kathleen. I didn't say hi when you popped on. Hello.
And Palma.
Welcome. So we have, for those that are just joining, we have Debbie here tonight. She's sharing with us about her own personal experiences. And then we're going to talk a little bit more. Well, we're kind of tapping into that now on how you can develop your psychic abilities. And we do have a question from Jay I saw up here. But before I jump to his question, to lead into that, when did you start working with Oracle and tarot cards?
So that would have come in about 10 years ago. And because I never used tools. So I just thought that would be really fun to learn and build my dictionary. Because that's another important thing. And I think you mentioned that about your dictionary and how important that is. So it's important to build that dictionary. And so I thought, well, this is a great way, because that's 72 more, images for my dictionary that can be used, right? So, and then plus the Oracle cards and whatever you use with that. So that's kind of what drew me in that direction. And started adding the whole tarot journey at that point.
Okay.
And I love using the tools as well to if I'm reading with someone, I want them to be a part of the experience. So if I'm just sitting here going blah 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 blah, it's one thing. But if I can go blah 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 blah, and guess what? This is saying the exact same thing that they just brought in. It draws them into the experience as well, right? So it makes it more tangible, something they can hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Did you find that the cards were very intuitive for you when you started? Was it an easy start, or was it something that it took you a minute to learn?
Okay, so yeah, when I first started, I was just like, the tarot is so hard. How am I going to learn these? So I just started intuitively taking the cards, because I was just like, there's no way I'm going to remember all those cards. And of course, if you say that, you won't, right? But so I just started looking at them intuitively and reading them just strictly intuitive at first, as I continued to gain the knowledge behind each card. And literally what helped me is creating a story. So, the full story. So you start with the full, and he steps out into the world. This is brand new experience. And, so you go through each card like that. So that would be the major arcana. So if you go through like the sword story, you can start with the Ace of Swords, and you start on this new journey, and then you go and things are new ideas, and you're getting this clarity. You're going to go on this journey of clarity, right? And then you go into the Two of Swords, but you're going to need to make this decision. So it's like so creating each thing into a story for me helped. So I would do that with the cups too, and then like that. So I could wrap my mind around them within a story. So I'd create these own little stories in my head when I was hiking or whatever I was doing, taking each tarot suit and making a story out of in line. So starting with the sword, going all the way through, like that.
I am going to try that. That is a fantastic idea, because Oracle is more my thing. So, I do my Oracle readings on Fridays for the coffee chat, and it's just natural. It's very intuitive for me, but I don't know, something with my brain and it's like I just stop right here, and
we're not the only ones, Sonia. I know a lot of people have this. I hear it all the time from others. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not the only ones. So hopefully that does help you and others. Just it's creating your own journey within the cards, and that really makes them yours, and it becomes literally your own dictionary.
Yeah, I like that. All right, so now we're ready for Jay's question. What's your favorite Oracle decks, tarot or Oracle decks that you love to use on a regular basis?
Okay, so that's a good question, Jay, because I go through phases. And so for the longest, so I've been doing this for a long time, right? So for the longest time, and I'll show you, and it's right here, and I still have him out, is this guy, and this is Tarot Illuminati. This is the one I learned on. Oh. Wait, no, I didn't learn on this one. This was the one I got right after I learned. But basically, way from the beginning, I've had this for like 10 years. And you can see it's worn and torn. But beautiful. Here's my tower that I got.
Oh, wow.
So very detailed.
That is.
So it's super easy to use if you're intuitively utilizing, right? Here's the Six of Cups. So beautiful.
That is. What's the name of that deck, Debbie?
This is Tarot Illuminati.
You did say that. Okay.
And just fabulous to use if you are especially learning and doing intuitively reading the cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So this was my favorite and go-to forever, and I still have it here. But it's funny, I don't go to it as much anymore.
What about your oracle?
And my oracles. Okay, my oracles. Interesting. Let's see. I don't have a go-to oracle, and I'm looking right now to see like what one I would be able to just pull. But I would have to say, since it's right here, because I have stacks and stacks, so I don't remember. How embarrassing is it that I remember my first go-tos? They're over there on the shelf. How sad is that? But I do have one of my old ones right here, and it's the butterfly one. And this is I think it's a Doreen Virtue, right? One, and it just has just the words on it.
Yes.
And that was one, but I used to use like 3 of them, and one had numbers on it, I feel like, and one had like these symbols. So they were all kind of different and could fully bring out the story for me. And the surrender deck, I love that one, Kathleen. Now that's one of my favorite ones, the surrender deck, for sure.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome. And Jan.
Oh, hi, Jan.
And Sharon.
And Lisa. Hi. Oh, and Sharon. Nasty Woman Tarot.
Nasty Woman Tarot. I love it.
So those are some, I used to utilize the oracles a lot more because I was strictly into, like, like trying to read the tarot, right? So I, like you, the oracles were so much, a little more freedom for me. I didn't feel as stressed out. When I was beginning.
I know Kathleen, she's like, connect with Jay with oracle, because Jay's a big time. I've actually, one of his oracle cards was the 5 elements cards. I can't think of it. I don't have them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I love those. Yeah.
They're amazing. And I've done a couple of readings with Jay. Him and I have done readings together. I'd like to do more because Jay is very gifted in that intuitive oracle reading, and you'll find that find your gift, find that strength of yours, and just go for it. Also another thing that helped me learn the tarot was the Lenormand. I know it's shocking. But if you start with the Lenormand and you're able to grasp that, you're like, oh, it just kind of opened something for me, as well. That helped me understand. Yeah, I can actually make a little bit more sense to me too. The story.
It's like, oh, okay, I grasp this. So then that part of your brain opens or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But having to integrate your right and left brain at the same time as reading cards and tapping into, into your guides and listening. It was, but you can do it. We all can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
If I can do it, anyone can.
So Tasty Melon wants to know, do you have to prepare yourself to receive messages?
I do not have to prepare myself, but I like to prepare myself. To me, it's honoring the space. It's honoring spirit, and what I mean by that, if I'm out and about and I need to, and someone, and you're just out to dinner or something like that, and someone asks you a question or whatever, I'm not going to sit there and do my little preparing myself to bring a message to them, right? Mm-hmm. I know that spirit is going to be there. I know that my guides are going to come through with a message for this person. And I have that knowledge and I have that faith that it's always going to be there for me, no matter if I step and do my little preparation. My preparation is out of honoring and holding that space. And so I do a little prayer of gratitude and thanking my guides, thanking my spirit team for bringing through messages clear and concise for the greatest and best good for whomever I'm reading with or whoever I will be reading with and sharing that time with that day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's just a kind of like I said, it's out of just kind of honoring that spiritual experience.
Right. And that can look different for
everyone. Everyone does it different. Some people, they meditate and they do that and they everybody has their own things that they do, but that's how I do it.
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, I'm always grateful and thankful to Spirit and my spirit team and to all the loved ones that that takes energy to come through, that would come through for messages. So.
And that's also part of keeping your vibration up. I know with, I encourage people, clients that I've worked with, to keep a gratitude journal. Not only are you thanking and being grateful for your spiritual team, but also just in general, your daily life, things that happen for you. I think I used the example once. I was out driving and I had to get somewhere quickly and all the lights were green for me. And it got me to where I needed to be. So just acknowledging that and saying thank you for the lights being green, just little things. It doesn't have to matter. People think of gratitude like, oh, I just came into this huge cash flow and I'm so grateful for that. Yes, you're grateful for that, but there's little things that happen in our life on a regular basis every day that people should take notice of and be grateful for it. The more gratitude we have, it opens us up to abundance.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Sonia, yes, you and I are on the same page with that. Please, if we could give anybody a gift today, it would be gratitude. Mm-hmm. Even when things are just so effed up, no matter what the situation is, find even the littlest thing to just bring that space of gratitude in, that little light. And I'm no joke, it will change your life. Just daily, try to find things that you're grateful for.
I had a spiritual mentor once that told me, doesn't matter what it is, whether it's bad or good, when a situation or something happens, what you say is, this is the best thing that could have ever happened. And you may not see it in that moment, but it opens you up to finding that silver lining of why that was the best thing that could have ever happened. So even if you don't believe it, I think I shared in a video about an experience that happened, but you find out like, okay, yeah, this is real, basically shitty. And, but then, things like begin to align and good things come out of it. So when you keep your mindset in that space, it does open you up to wonderful things. So
it really does.
We are both on that same page.
Yes.
Let me see here. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip over any questions. Jay had another question. How can we develop and understand our intuition as a creative human being on a regular basis?
Practice. Practice. So, Jay, you understand like working out, the importance of keeping up your yoga practice and like that. You can't really put that off for a month and then expect to go back in directly into some of the poses you were able to do when you were doing it on a daily basis. You're into, tapping in and developing that intuition. You want to kind of keep it up. So you want to practice, you got to, and in the beginning it's hard, right? And you're like, I'm tired. I've done, an hour of reading and I'm tired, like that. But after you've done it for a while, you've built up those muscles. So it's kind of like the same thing with the intuition, developing and understanding. The more you do it, the clearer it becomes. The more you understand your language, and your dictionary becomes bigger, and you're creating that. And pretty soon, it's kind of like when you learn a language. I don't know if, but when you're learning a language, once you dream in that language, it's in you, right? And so, kind of the same deal. You just got to do it, you guys. And I know that sounds like, what do you mean? Like I want something. Tell me something I can do to make this bigger and better. I'm telling you, practice, just do it. And Jay, I feel like you're doing it. You're in it. And these practicing changes. And Lisa's saying, yeah, the class change has changed that for you, because literally you guys are practicing, you're doing it during the week. And so you're building that muscle, and literally it's coming in, and it's growing that intuition. It's growing those abilities. It's opening up this line. Your guides, your spirit team has been talking to you forever, but now they're so excited because you're actually building this line and language to help understand what's coming through. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Palma. Don't forget to click thumbs up. I always forget to say that. So,
yep, thumbs up. I did it. I did it on the screen.
Oh, thank you. And subscribe and share and all that good stuff. If you know someone that wants to get more in touch with their intuition and hearing more about that, please do share this video. And let's see, I'm just making sure I didn't miss any other questions here. Oh, this is sweet. Dinah says, I've watched you, Debbie, for some time now and did not know any of this. Thank you, Sonia, for the dive into I love that. That's what I should have named this. Dive into Debbie. That could be taken a couple of different ways. We want to keep it good here.
So. Was this a good thing? Was this a good thing, Dinah? Giving you a big hug.
Let's see here.
Yes, Ron. So perfect. Keep doing your videos. That's so perfect.
Yeah,
Ron you know, great. Right? The more you do it, the more you're in there doing it, the expansion just happens. It just does. Debbie dive.
And we have Sheila from Inquisitive Tarot. Her readings are phenomenal as well. She's great. And of course, Nasty Women Tarot.
Yep.
I go there for the jokes too. They're both fantastic intuitive readers, and it's a lot of fun.
They make it comfortable for anyone and everyone. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Oh, here's a fun question. So Lisa wants to know, Debbie, what do you enjoy doing for fun outside of tarot, YouTube, mediumship, all of that stuff?
That's a good question. Because this is so fun to me. But yeah, so, when I, leave my office or whatever, and I close the door and, the close sign comes, I'm a little bit of a foodie. I also enjoy watching movie. I'm a movie person. But it has to be, I don't like thrillers, the scary thrillers or whatever. I can't do those at all. But pretty much anything else. I love like Marvel or any of those crazy ones that are silly, more silly ones. Mm-hmm. But so I enjoy entertainment like that. What else?
That's so funny that you mentioned the thriller. I used to be a huge horror fan.
That's right. You love those old scary movies.
I did. Like I can watch them no problem, except for, like Satanism and all that kind of stuff. That's a little too much there. But as I found myself beginning to open up more and learning more about other dimensions, and so I felt it was starting to get a little too close, and it was I don't know, I just couldn't do it anymore. I can't really. Every full blue moon or so I might, but I just really can't do that anymore. So
Yes, Lucy, and all those. I love all those. She just posted all any of those type of things. I love those type of shows. And yeah, no scary movies. Yeah, you like those. I can't do those at all. Never could. Nasty Woman Sharon says I'm a Scotch. So I do like on my actual day, I have a couple days off a week, and so I do like to have my little Scotch or my little whiskey on those days.
Yeah.
my little fun drink. Yeah, the squirrels. That's so funny. Yeah, so I do like to hike. I like to get out and about.
That's
but here in Colorado, it's been such a long winter, but we are getting good weather now, so we'll get back out there. Sheila likes the bourbon on ice.
Yeah, that's
see. I like mine.
Sheila.
I like mine straight. I'm good.
That or a glass of wine. So
yeah, I like to relax and just hang out. But it's so funny. It's an interesting question, Lisa, because pretty much I feel like because it's such of who I am that I this sense, the spiritual sense or whatever that has driven me since my first memories, mm-hmm. I don't know that it ever lets down. Does that make sense? I'm always in that space of wanting to share love or give messages, or I'm never not in that space. So it's a part of in all that I do, but except even when I'm watching shows, I know what's coming next. I am always I'm probably the worst person to watch anything with, because I can always call out what's happening next or who's doing what or whatever.
That's something that I was able to do too. Like that was the thing I think I knew about horror that I liked, because the format was always kind of the same. So I really could just figure out what was going to happen next, and the scary parts weren't scary anymore. So there was something that I saw here.
The parts weren't scary anymore.
Sharon says, I like to read cards intuitively. That is why I have many different decks. I am led to a deck for a person's reading. Love the different images that are in the various decks.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sharon, because depending on the reading, I will go to a different deck for certain readings. Mm-hmm. I'll be called to different decks, and sometimes I'll go to grab one and I'm told, nope, not that one, go to that one, so. But that's a real thing there, Sharon.
Debbie, there was something that you said, if you can explain to people that may not be aware of that. You said when you go out to dinner or something, you put up your close sign.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can explain what you mean by when you put up your sign, if it's open or closed.
So, I need even though I'm kind of always in that space, I do have a closed sign. So when I leave this space, I don't want a lineup of people from the other side, loved ones, to be following me around or wanting, me to get messages to people. I have certain rules with that and like that. And one of those is when I'm out and about or out to dinner, I don't want a lineup of people interrupting my time. So I do have I'm open or I'm closed. Now, that being said, if I'm out and about and I'm with some friends and we're just, playing and whatnot. And they're just like, oh, do you have a message for me or whatever? In that moment, I will open up. But I'll kind of just in my mind, I go, okay, we're opening up for this situation, not a whole lineup of random people who are coming in a week before I'm going to be meeting with somebody. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So people, for those that don't know, we've kind of thrown it around loosely here about the class. So Debbie has teamed up with Kim, who has a channel called Intuitive View. And what's really funny, just a quick thing, I met or did a reading with Kim back in 2019. So I knew Kim first, doing readings through her. And then last year, started doing readings with Debbie. And so when the two of them came together, I was like,
what?
Oh my God. Now those I'm able to start reading. Many people in the community use them.
Love these, right? Yeah. So Ron was just saying, I think Debbie has the light seers. Yep.
Yeah.
Love this deck.
Those are great cards. So they created this course for people that were interested in developing their psychic abilities. And we are now almost done with the class. And I've been reading through here, people saying, they've been having so many different dreams and just all different. I think we all have been surprised in taking this class, because each week after the class, we have these practice circles. And what has been really cool for me is learning that everyone goes about this differently. And some are stronger in one area than they are in other areas, because we have, there's clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and clairsentience. So there's, some people are gifted in all of those areas. I think we're all gifted in those areas, but everyone, something might be stronger for one person than it is for the other. So anyhow, just, when gathering with these, I was about to say all women, we have one male in the class, but when we all come together, it's really cool just to see everyone's talents and just kind of how we all come to this information. And so many of us have been pleasantly surprised with what we get. And I think that it's, as Debbie mentioned, the best thing that you can do in developing your skills is to practice. The class that we just had, I think this is a key class if you want to share about how does someone get kind of in touch with themselves? Because there's some people, they're like, well, where do I start? I have no idea where to start. And what does that feel like? So if you can talk about a little bit about the exercise, because I think that's a great exercise for people that are just starting out, of kind of feeling within themselves.
Yeah, feeling. So, a great thing to do is if you are, watching one of these on YouTube, okay, and you're watching someone give a reading. Let's say someone posts a question, like on Sundays, we do personal questions. Tap into that, step in when we're doing those readings. And so what she's talking about, and she's, talking about the clairs, you're tapping into these senses. So you're hearing, you're seeing, you're tasting, you're smelling, you're feeling. Sometimes people feel on the outside, but mostly be on feeling something in your chakras, right? Physically. And then instant knowledge, like did something just drop in? And my partner calls that a hit. I just got a hit. So does it come in like that for you? And so this is a perfect way to figure that out, is when you're watching one of those on YouTube, look at the question, step in, however you want to do that, just kind of, if you, close your eyes and feel the question, see where it's coming in. Did you hear something? Did you, and just, write it down and then see how it plays out on screen and look at what you got and you're like, oh my gosh, that's what I got. You know what I mean? And then you can kind of go, okay, well, I got that. I saw it. I saw it in my mind's eye. Or I got that. I just had this feeling in my, in my solar plexus, and I feel like, and then take it from there. So I felt kind of like maybe an anxiety with that, and then take that a little further, and you're writing that down. Anyway, that's how you can kind of build and figure out where are some of your strengths. Just follow along and do it while someone else is reading on like YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. And I like the idea too that you mentioned about a dream journal, because there's so many of us that have dreams. Some people are lucid dreamers. Someone, just might have a dream, and to start writing that down. There's sometimes messages, they may not come to you right away, but they may come later on. I know I kept my phone by, so when I would wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something like that, I would record it, because when I wake up in the morning, a lot of times I forget. So I would just quickly record it and then go back to sleep and then journal on it later. All these things to help to, as you say, build that muscle.
Yes.
So that's a great suggestion.
Another thing that I used to do, I'm not even going to tell you how long ago, but way back in the day. And I used to just, like I would pray for people or whatever. I intentionally put them in my mind, and I'm rocking now because now I'm feeling it. But active listening. So I would place them in my mind and kind of hold space for them. And then I literally would just start writing, like I'd be writing, like I'm writing them a letter, but literally it would start to become not me. It was not me giving the messages, because I was opening myself up for a message for them. And so that active listening would come in, and it would come in using all the senses, whether I started smelling something or, whatever it was that would begin the message. So that active listening. So, but you'd have to be purposed to set aside time to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also did an exercise with the active listening where you had us kind of just, tune into what's going on outside, just listening to things that we never might have really heard before. I know when I wake up in the morning, I have birds chirping. So that's always been a thing that I would do, is listen to the birds. But what's beyond the birds?
Beyond the birds? Yeah. That's a good one. And you can even, if you don't have the ability to get outside or go and do something, create a scenario. Say, okay, I'm at a park right now, but you're in the house or whatever. But I'm at a park right now. What do I hear? And then you just kind of start there, and you go, okay, what do I hear beyond that? What do I hear beyond that? And you can literally be there. So, and then you can also, when you're doing that, you can recognize, am I hearing? Am I seeing? Am I feeling? Am I, do I feel the breeze? Do I, all those things. And you can narrow it down to where some of your strengths are by doing that, whether it's at a park or whether you're at an amusement park or any of those scenarios, and that can build. But I love it when if you can get outside and you go hiking, start to recognize sounds that you kind of pass over because you're busy hiking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you hear the crunch beneath your feet? Do you hear the echo of the bird that chirped over here? Did you hear it go over there? You know what I mean? Like those types of things. So follow those sounds. It helps build up the muscles.
I love that.
These are exercises to build up those muscles.
Lisa said, I am totally all in with this spiritual space I have learned to embrace. All of you are the reason for it in your own contributing ways. So yes, this is fun to me. Yay. That's fantastic.
Yay.
Let me make sure I didn't miss.
Erin has a question.
Who says, hey, Erin, have you ever channeled in another language you did not know?
Yes, I do. That comes in when I'm doing healing. When I do healing, another language will come in, and I feel like when I do that healing and that other language comes in, we don't, in our English language, we don't have all the words for everything, and our words don't cover it well enough. Like love doesn't even encompass what love really is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that language comes in to really cover the areas that the English language doesn't. And language moves energy, right? So when you speak something out, it literally moves the energy. So yes.
Yeah, I had my first channeled experience. Was it been a couple of weeks now ago? Where I had a language come through. So still, like, again, with everything that's going on, this has just been such a huge experience of being able to learn more and open up more, and it's pretty cool. So Debbie, if you can talk a little bit, just briefly describe the class, what it's all about, and share of what's the future holds with that.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm loving the class, guys. And it's literally about expanding your potential intuitively and spiritually. I feel like it goes into a lot of the areas with that, and just really bringing light to what's already in you and that you want to build on and move further into. And so that's what the classes are for. This first initial one that we offered, we are going to be offering 3 more through the summer, the same one. And then in the fall, we are opening up a couple different new classes, one which will be a deeper dive into just mediumship. And then the other one will be a deeper dive into what we just experienced in this current class of just that initial development of your intuition and understanding it and seeing it and maybe for the first time, So, and it's all levels. Even if you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't know about the mediumship, it's all levels every time. So no expectations. So
yeah, I'm so excited about that. I think that was probably one of the, for me, one of the most exciting. It was all great, but I really did enjoy the mediumship portion of that class. So very excited, guys, for those that were really into it or those that want to know more about mediumship, that's coming in the fall. So, and for those that haven't taken this class, as Debbie mentioned, she's going to have a few more this summer. So I highly, highly recommend it. Hey, Q, welcome. Good to see you.
Sharon's donning her scuba gear to do the deep dive and the mediumship. Yeah, I'm excited. I have to say, I'm super extra excited for that one. So the ones that are coming up, the 3 more coming this summer, we changed it up a little bit in that it'll be a 2-hour circle. But it'll be a 5-week thing. So if you know anybody or whatever, that will be posted by Friday. It'll be all up and running, and the links and stuff will be out and about. So by Friday.
Oh, this is a good question.
Okay.
So Ron wants to know, will there be another open mic night on Debbie's channel? That was amazing for me. Yeah, a lot of people flew right from there.
I know, I love that. I love it. Yeah. Yes, there is. I'm sorry that I haven't done that. Well, Karen did her big move and then she's moved again and like that. But I should probably just do it, right? And make that happen. So yes, we'll be doing another open mic. That was fun. But and I'll let you know when we can nail that down for sure. That was fun.
That'd be awesome. All right, guys.
I wanted to do it once a month, but then Karen,
once a month would be great to do.
Yeah, I wanted to do that once a month. So hopefully.
Any last minute burning questions? I mean, we got Debbie on the hot seat here.
I'm hot seat.
Any last questions? Oh, Kathleen says that she's doing a crazy amount of channeling, seem to have jumped in my toolbox.
Woo!
Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, get some new readers on there. Wouldn't that be fun, Jen? Yeah. Yeah, we need to do that. I need to do that. You're right. That'll be fun.
All right.
So, yeah. So, while the loving community is here, I would love for you to send up some extra prayers for Luna Cat, my Luna Cat.
Yes, yes, yes.
She went in she's been not doing well, and so we took her in today, and so she has to be on, they gave her antibiotics and stuff. She has a little UTI and stuff. But while she was there, they found a heart murmur. So it's one of those things. It's like you said, it reminded me of what you said, because it was like, this was the best thing that happened to me today. Well, we would have never known she had a heart murmur unless this happened with her UTI. So, yeah.
So prayers for Luna. And I'm sorry, let me rephrase. The questions are for Debbie about Debbie. So anything about Debbie that you would like to know. We do have a couple more.
There's one up here.
Yeah. Susan says, how do you see things have changed in the past 6 months in the psychic world or the world in general?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if you've been hanging out with us on the Freebird Spirit channel, we've been talking about the shift in global shift, and the collective shift of things happening in this opening up the veil a little more between worlds. And so you'll find, and this is why this big kind of convergence collectively of us all coming together, this is not a mistake. And it's not a mistake that we are all learning and coming together and building each other up and supporting one another, so that we can step further in these abilities as our world continues to change. We're going to need this sense of knowing as time continues to move forward. I've been actually preaching this for many over 20 years about how important it will be as the world continues that we walk in this knowing sense. And I don't mean to get all gravy and stuff, like all boo-hoo, but it's important to know, should I go in that cafe or not? Is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you want to have your senses up if you feel like, I'm not going in that cafe right now. Like something's stopping me. You need to be tapped into all that, is all I'm saying, as our world changes.
Yeah.
So it's important for everybody to get this language down, I think.
This one, how backed up are you with your readings for doing personal readings for people? My May is wide open right now. I just dropped all my May dates in. So, so it is open. So pass on the word. You can go to Debbie's website, freebirdspirit.com, and it tells you there how you can connect with her to get on her schedule. And
but I just got on there to do some maintenance. So
oh, yeah, that's right.
Give me a minute, but if you want to just contact me at Debbie at freebirdspirit.com. That's my email. Contact me there and I'll send you the dates. So perfect. Debbie at freebirdspirit.com.
Susan had a follow-up question. Do you think vertigo is a symptom of these changes?
I have heard that vertigo has upped its game.
That is crazy. My mom just told me today that she had vertigo this week.
Yeah. And so you'll send like the absolutely the changes are causing a lot of this in people. The vibrations levels changing and all that, and it's causing the vertigo to come on. Yep.
Wow.
There was somebody asked if something about a book.
About a book, let's see. If someone asks something about a book, can you please?
Oh, Lisa did.
Here. Oh, Lisa. Any plans to write a book?
Let me take a sip. So I have a book in progress. It's called Butterflies and Whiskey.
Ooh, I like that title.
Of course, I've been writing it for over 10 years. So that's how far I've gotten on it. But Lisa, it's in there. I need some kind of assistance or something, some kind of support. And I'm open. I've opened that up to the universe for that to come in when it's the right time to really get going on this book. And yeah, I have bits and pieces of it all over, but nothing compiled, right? Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we have a lot of people. Butterflies drinking. Yeah, a lot of people said cool title, love the title. Kathleen says a must read and drink.
Yeah, probably. I will drink if you're reading it. It'll read better if you drink.
We're ready for it. We're just waiting on you. We're ready for it. Dinah's asking if I do readings. Dinah, do oracle readings on Friday mornings. I won't be this Friday morning, however, because I'm going out of town. But every Friday morning, I have my coffee chat and I do oracle readings. It's more for the collective because, unfortunately, I don't have the time to do individual readings. However, as Debbie mentioned, I'm exercising that muscle, so I don't do private readings just yet, but I may one day. So we'll see.
Dinah, it's going to be sooner than thanks.
But I have joined both Jay and Ron, and I've been on Ron's channel doing readings. So yeah, I'm getting out there a little bit more with all of that stuff. So, all right. So I think that's it. I'm going to reiterate for those that did not take this class on psychic development. I highly, highly recommend it. It's good stuff. And as you'll go through this feed, so many people talking about it and vouching up for it. It's a really great course. And I know a lot of us that have already taken it are looking forward to, as you know, I guess deep dive has kind of become the coin phrase. We're looking to doing that. So yes, Debbie, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I so appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
I think this is a great opportunity for people to really get to know you a little bit more. And I appreciate you sharing tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was such a blessing. And I always love hanging out with my family here. It's getting bigger.
It is. Yes, it is. Yes, love it. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. For new subscribers, would love for those that are interested in subscribing, please do. Would love to have you on this channel. Like I said, each month I'd like to try to have at least one, if not two guests on. But there's always some good information. Go back and check out some of the other people that I've had on. Really talented, wonderful people. So I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday evening. Enjoy, and we'll see you later.